I started writing about cultural Marxism in the early 2000s, somewhere around 2005, 6, and 7. Blogged about it intensely in 2007 during the election because of what I saw as the incredible threat of Barack Obama, who was a massive cultural Marxist. And in my opinion, then and now, a dangerous man on a number of fronts and for a number of reasons. And so, I ended up, some of you may have seen an interview that I did on CNN before the election, talking about, some of these issues.
What do you make of that?
Well, it's interesting. The bottom line on that is people look at this ticket and their fear is that we will have Barack Obama as our president, that we will be moved toward a socialist agenda, that we would have the most radically pro-abortion candidate ever to run for president to serve in that office. And that is an untenable position for evangelicals. And so they look at this and they're trying to decide this based on what's best for the nation in the here and now.
I only got to do that one time. So, yeah, that was pretty much it. The lady said after the interview was over that, we'll have to have you back. And I knew at that moment that I would never be back on that person's show again. And so this is not something new. Why did I think it was an issue at that time? Because of a number of things. Let me give you just a few that I wrote about then and was worried about then because of the philosophy of cultural Marxism and because of this man's long history with cultural Marxism. Not only from his university days, but even his church. This man sat under an overt Marxist pastor for decades. Jeremiah Wright was an overt, he was not just a cultural Marxist, he was also a classical Marxist, okay? This man had sat under that teaching for years and years. Not only had he done that, but his position on certain issues, like, for example, his homosexual agenda, the most radically pro-homosexual politician that I had ever seen or experienced in the mainstream, his position on abortion and infanticide, which was radical, on judicial activism, hate crimes legislation. And I believed and said openly on a number of occasions that I believed this man's presidency would make race relations in America worse, not better. An article that I wrote and actually reprinted 2 years later, because I'm not big on I told you so's, but I told you so.